Okay, boys and girls, we're going to start to create our self-portraits on the iPads. At your table, you have this worksheet like this that will show you some of the tools that I'm about to use. Each of these shapes should represent one of the face features that you're going to put in your portrait. So for example, if you look at the spot that says eyes, these are the three shapes that I'm going to layer on top of each other to create my eyes, my mouth, my nose, my neck, my ears, my hair, and my head. So use this to help you, and I've highlighted the shapes that I'm using, so if you're confused about which shape to use for each of your face features, look at this worksheet right here. Now when you get your iPad, if you're using the iPads first, you're going to go to this little app that says Assembly App. It looks like a little bird. So when you click on that, you can scroll through and see a few different choices for different skin colors of your face. Choose one that you think matches you pretty well. We have some lighter colors and some darker colors. And then once you've chosen that color, the tools down here will help you bring out shapes and colors. So shapes is the first tool down here. I'm going to click on that. So once I clicked on shapes, I can also click on this little arrow to bring up a whole menu of more shapes. So what I'm going to start with is my eyes. Now if you scroll to the left and right, you can see more shapes here. What we're going to use for our eye, the outer part of our eye, is this kind of like skinny oval. So I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to change this skinny oval to a white because we're going to start with the white part of our eye, the outer part of our eye. So I'm going to go down here to Styles. That's the little button all the way to the right. This will bring up some color pickers. If I want to change a color that isn't on this menu here, I want to go to the three circles to bring up a big color menu. Now this inner circle is what I'm going to use to change the color from dark to light. The outer circle changes the colors from different types of colors. So I'm just going to take this inner circle and bring it all the way to the left here towards this white area. That's going to create just a solid white color for me. And you can kind of see how it changes a little bit. I want to get it right on the white there. And then once I have white, I'm going to click the red check mark. So now I'm going to move my shape around to put my eyes in the middle of my head. So I'm going to take this shape and just select it and drag it. So I'm going to pull it and drag it. Okay. Now it looks like these eyes are a little bit big, so I'm going to take this small circle and I'm going to pull it in and out to change the size. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller here to fit in the middle of my head. And then that should be the outer part of my eye. Now once I think that looks right, I'm going to copy this to the other side so that I have two eyes. So the copy tool is right here. It's the two little double squares. If I click on that, I will copy my shape and then I can move it over so that I have two eyes side by side. So your eyes should be right in the middle of your head and they should be pretty evenly spaced from left to right. Okay. So I have the outer part of my eye. Now remember, we have three parts of the eye. We have an outside white part, inside colorful part, and then a black dot. So I'm going to go back down to shapes here, and I'm going to find just a circle. Now this is not the color of my eye that I want, so I'm going to go back down to Styles, and remember, click the three circles. And since my eyes are blue, I'm going to move this outer circle here all the way over to the blue area. And then I'm going to move the inner circle around to make sure it's a color blue that I like. Not too light, not too dark, kind of somewhere in the middle here. And then I'm going to click the red check mark. So this circle is going to get a little bit smaller and it's going to go in the middle of that white part of my eye. So since I'm getting a little bit small here, I need to zoom in my screen. So I'm going to take my two fingers and just pull out on my screen and zoom in so I can really see where I'm putting this. So then I'm going to drag this blue circle in the very center of the white part of my eye. Okay, now I can deselect by clicking off of that circle and then zoom out by pushing two fingers on my screen out. Okay, now I want to take this blue circle and copy it again to the other part. So I'm going to click the copy tool and I'm going to zoom in again so I can pull this all the way over and then deselect and zoom out. Okay, my eyes are almost done, but we have a little black dot in the center of our eye as well. So I'm going to go back down to shapes and select another circle. But this time I'm going to change that to black. So I'm just going to move this inner circle all the way down to black. Click the check mark. And then this black circle should be a little bit smaller than the blue part. So zoom in a little bit so you can get this smaller. And then again, I'm going to copy it to the other side. So copy, pull it to the other side and place it in the same spot. And then zoom out and see how it looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I've got my eyes done. I'm going to move on to the shapes tools again so I can work on my nose and my mouth and my ears. So let's just keep the nose, mouth, and ears pretty simple. I'm going to scroll to the right so I can get to these tools that look like very skinny lines. You can see it says the strokes on top. So down here, there's a curvy line, and I'm going to use this curvy line for my nose. So what I'm going to do is change this to black, and then I'm going to flip it upside down and make it a little bit smaller and use this for the curve of my nose. I'm going to place this right below my eyes in this space down below here. Okay, go back to shapes. I'm going to find something that can work for the curve of my mouth. So there's lots of curvy lines here that can work for the curve of your mouth. Or if you scroll all the way to the left, you can find some thicker curves like these and these. So if you want a really big smile, you can choose this one. If you want just a little tiny smile, you can choose one of these. So I can flip this around, change the size of it, and go back and change the color. I think I want my mouth to be either reddish or pinkish. So I'm going to go to red, move this up so it's kind of more of a brightish red, and click the check mark. Okay, so that looks pretty good so far. I've got my face all done. Now I just need to finish off with my hair and my ears. So going back down to the shapes, there's a little shape that looks like a circle cut in half. I'm going to use that for my ears. I just need to make these a little bit smaller. And I need to make sure it's the same color as the skin of my head. So what I'm going to do is go to the color picker tool, and I should see my skin color right down here because I've used that color recently. If you don't see it right down here, you can use this little eyedropper tool and select on your skin color, and it should bring up the color to the menu there. So I can click on my ear then and just select that color that I selected and click the check mark. Okay, so I've got one ear on the side of my head here. It looks like it's a pretty good size. It's about the same size as my eyes. It's right across from my eyes, right in the middle of my face. Now I can take this and I can copy it using the copy tool. And so that I don't have to flip it around, I can actually use this tool right here, these triangles. That's the flip tool. I can just flip that around and then put it in the right spot. Okay, make sure they're even right on the same spot here for my ears. All right, now finally it's time for the hair. This is the fun part. Go back down to shapes and scroll all the way to the right and find the area where it says build your own emoji. Now these are some tools that we can use to put some extra details like hair on us. So find a hairstyle that you really like. I think I'm going to go with this one right here. Now change the color because you can't see it right now. It's not the right color. I think I'm going to go to yellow because I have kind of blondish hair. Click the check mark. And I need to make this a lot bigger so it fits on my head here. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm not actually really liking how this fits on my head though, so I'm gonna go to the little trash bin and delete that and try a different type of hair. I think I'm gonna try this longer hair. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good. I like that. I just need to make it a little bit bigger so it really fits on my head. Okay, and if I zoom out here, you can see how my hair fits here. Okay, things look pretty good here. Now, if you have glasses, there's some tools where you can select some glasses to put on your face. I think I'm going to make my glasses brown. Make them a little bigger. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, if you want to add any extra details to your hair, maybe you can scroll and find somewhere where you can add a little bow to your hair like this. You can add any extra details that you like, as long as you have finished all of your face features. Okay, once you have finished your portrait, then you're going to come see me and I'm going to save it for you by clicking the orange button. And then you're going to give your iPad to a different person and you're going to work on the next step of your portrait.